And we want to welcome everybody tonight to. We got 40 laps here tonight at the G2G Trailers 100 from Pocono Raceway. Thanks to everybody tuning in at Go Locker Racing. Should be a really great race. It's our third race of our inaugural season, and we've got a pretty tight points battle going on. But it's 78 degrees outside, track temperature of 104, so it's going to be hot and slick out here, Jamie.
Yeah, Pat, I'm sure it's going to be. I got to be honest with you. Most weeks I really struggle with the urge to bring Alex Cruz into the team office and tell him that he's not going to get to drive the Gill Insurance Advisors Chevy Silverado each week, that I'm going to take it over. But tonight is not one of those nights. I do not like Pocono, so I am happy to be up here in the booth with you tonight. Whatever Roger Ward was thinking when he created this place back in 1969, it's not an oval, it's not a road course, it's a triangle. And uh, who races on triangles? He probably thought nobody would notice, but guess what, Roger Ward? I notice. So let's look forward to having a good race here tonight with these GLR truck drivers. We got a good crowd, and I'm sure they're going to put on a good show for us.
I don't even know how to follow that one up, Jamie. But I think you hit on a lot of different things about how we both miss racing. Wish we were in the trucks right now. Two, you're
No, I
absolute.
don't. I don't wish I was in the truck. That was the whole point I was making. I am so glad Alex has the keys to this thing tonight.
Well, I wish I was on the track. Pocono is one of my favorite raceways. I've won quite a few races here, and again, I just think it has always fit my driving style. I love the flatter tracks, and this track and the odd tracks, I would say as well. This track has three incredibly different corners. The first, turns one and two's got a little bit of banking to it, so it drives like a typical mile and a half, like maybe you were at Kansas going through one and two. Then you hit that tunnel turn, which is completely unique to any track, really, and a lot of speed to be carried through there, a lot of speed to be lost there as well. And you've really got to get the truck down there and keep in the gas. And then you hit three and floor, which is almost completely flat. So that almost drives like a short track. So I think you're right, Jamie. Maybe that is the reason I like this track so much because it is so different.
Yeah, and after we do the starting lineups, the corners are not as unique as you think they are, and I'll explain that more after we finish the starting lineups.
Oh, Jamie is on fire tonight. Well, our starting grid brought to you by G2G Trailers. We got Cody McElwain in that number 6 truck, Goat Locker Racing entry, and the Gill Insurance Advisors truck, sitting on the pole with a 55.859. So congratulations to Cody on his first pole of the year. Starting second is Trevor McManus, and we've seen these two trucks battle out all year long. Starting third is Anthony Radel. Great to see him up front in that Pennsylvania racing truck. Starting fourth is Scott Sanderson. He was a part of our recruitment races. I think this is his first official race with us now. In that number 93 truck. Starting fifth is Jordan Malcolm, one of the guys from Australia that races with us in that number 1 truck. Starting sixth is Noel Hanna in the number 7 truck. Starting seventh, Zach Wilson from the Rebels League in that 51 truck. To his outside, Eddie Smith, the winner of our first 2 races. So he's going to have a little bit of work to do to get out front. I think this is the furthest back we've seen him start in that number 25 truck. Starting ninth is Scott Rankin, our other Australian driver, in that number 49 truck from Indy Autosports. Starting 10th is the other Goat Locker entry, driving the Jam Promotions. Number 5 truck is Alex Cruz. Starting 11th is Joe Yakes from Indy Autosports as well, in that number 87. Starting 12th is Tony Minton. And I'll move the grid here in a second. Starting 13th is Ryan Pendleton at number 18 truck, and starting 14th is Mike Browning in that number 4 Indy Autosports truck.
And starting 15th, we got the number 8 of Austin Connick. This is his first race with the Goat Locker Racing Truck Series tonight. Glad to have you out here, Austin. And his outside, starting 16th, at number 88 of Jonah Colbert. Starting 17th, at number 45, Brian Brogan. And his outside, starting 18th, number 22, William Schroeder. Starting 19th, number 64, Matt Nides. To his outside, starting 20th, number 52, Kyle Plumstead. Starting 21st, number 89, Brandon Wallace. And a big shout out to Brandon Wallace. He actually gave me a push Sunday night at Talladega to got me to pit road when I ran out of gas. So thank you very much, Brandon. Starting his outside number 22nd, the number 97, Mike Bertosa. Starting 23rd, another newcomer to the Goat Locker Racing Truck Series, number 23, Davey Jones. And is he in that White Castle truck?
Oh, you know he is, Jimmy. You know he is.
Right. All right. We'll be pulling for you, Davey. And starting 24th, number 77, Mike Uribe. And rounding out the field, starting 25th, the number 24, Gregory Sherman.
So just a great group of drivers out here this evening. That pace truck's going to be pulling off here shortly, and we are going to get underway. As it makes that hard left turn going down, and the green flag is out, and we are underway. Great start for both of the guys in the front row. As Trevor McManus is starting to pull to the outside of Cody McElwain just a little bit right now. And we are 2 by 2 all the way down through the field.
We'll have to see when they come back around after lap 1. If we get the big fan out coming down the front stretch like we will normally see on TV.
Oh, we got a truck getting loose and going to go up. And they are wrecking all over the place back there. There are trucks just crashed everywhere. Alex Cruz is involved in this, and we'll see that number 1 truck get really loose, snaps back, and collects a bunch of trucks. Not
the start we wanted to see.
No, and we'll see here from Tony Mitten's view, as he is just an innocent bystander as he comes up and gets collected. Eddie Smith is wrapped up in this as well. That number 25 Tide truck is all wrinkled up.
Notice the 5 truck of Alex Cruz was caught in that.
Yeah.
I didn't exactly see what started. It looked like the number 1 of Jordan Malcolm washed up off the bottom of the track and started that mess.
That number 1 truck got really, really loose coming out of 2. And as he tried to correct it back, it just snapped on him and took him right up into the field of trucks. So, tough break, cold tires there, I think is the key to what happened. And that is going to kind of jumble up the order here a little bit as we got a lot of damaged trucks on pit road.
Was the 18 of Ryan Pendleton caught up in that?
Go back and take a look. He absolutely was. That truck is not looking very good.
Yeah. It's unfortunate. Tonight's first race for Ryan in the Goat Locker Racing Truck Series, and we want to give him a big welcome. Ryan is an active duty Navy Chief, so we're glad to have him here. This is what we started this for, so welcome, Ryan. Not the start you wanted, but gather it up and we'll have a good finish.
Yeah, definitely welcome to the team and welcome to the series, Ryan. Great to have you out here. Always good to have another Chief racing in the league with us. But yeah, get that number 18 all fixed up, and hopefully we'll get back to some good racing here. But again, Jamie, when you look at that accident coming out of turn 2, it just looks like a case of cold tires and just trying to push the truck too much.
Yeah, and I noticed in testing with the trucks, if you got down on that apron any at all, they definitely did not like that. They definitely loosened up, and in the early going, everybody was kind of packed in there tight. I'm sure that led to some of that. So, no harm, no foul. It's a shame they've got to go to the fast repairs this early for a lot of these guys, but if the previous 2 races have shown us anything, they're going to get it together and probably run the rest of this thing out green.
Yeah, absolutely. Always seem to have a little bit of trouble as we get going here, but these drivers are some of the best out there. We've seen some incredible racing at some very difficult tracks. I mean, you look at Bristol last week, and we had a lot of green flag runs there, and that's not very typical, you know, with all the beating and banging and the short track racing. So, as we say every week, I mean, hats off to these drivers that get out here and wheel these trucks around these tracks and put on the exciting shows that they do each week.
Yeah, and the talent level, it kind of creates some of this stuff early on because everybody knows if you let people get away, you're not getting them back. So everybody's going to push a little bit harder than probably what they want to try to keep everything as close as they can. and then it just kind of creates some of these things that we've seen early on in our races.
Yeah, I mean, you get a lot of talented drivers together like we've been able to here for this series, and the competition level goes up as well. I mean, they're all competitors. They're going to fight for every inch and every space that they can. And on a big track like this, it tends to spread out a little bit. So where you settle in during a long green flag run is usually where you're going to end up finishing. So, like you said, Jamie, these guys are trying to gain all the positions they can. Highly competitive group. But no harm, no foul. Looks like every truck's back out on track and fixed up. A couple guys might have saved their fast repairs and kept it in the pocket for a little bit later. But hopefully these guys learned a lesson there and let these tires get a little bit of heat in them before you really start pressing on them.
And we still got a long way to go here. And you got to make another stop. You're not going to get to the end from fuel on this point. So if your truck's not that damaged, go ahead and put that thing in your back pocket and save it for later. You know, when the laps are winding down and it matters.
Yeah, that's a great point. You know, with the fuel and tire strategy that is built into these races, they've only got one extra set of tires. So they got the set of tires that they're sitting on right now, and they got one set sitting in the pits. So the fuel run will get to them just past halfway. Obviously, you know, we've had 3 laps under caution now, so they can probably go a little bit further. So really, most of these drivers are looking at cutting this race in half. That's where they're going to take their tires and all that. So some of these guys are probably saving that fast repair to see how these next, 15 to 20 laps go when they come down for their regular service.
And looks like they've formed up too wide. Caution lights are off. Should be going back to green flag racing when they come around to the start finish line this lap.
It'd be good to get these guys moving again, and should see some exciting racing as we are starting to see some great racing there. Again, just a couple guys got loose and got collected up, and everybody back on the track and ready to get this race back underway. We're excited to do this as we are coming to complete 5 laps here of our scheduled 40 in the G2G Trailers 100, and that pace track has the hard left, and that green flag comes out almost immediately. And they're back off, and this time Cody gets a little bit better of a start and is able to keep the nose of that truck in front of Trevor.
Yeah, not a whole lot of room there from the time the pace truck pulls off to the green flag comes out, is there?
No, I mean, that pace truck hangs a hard left, and then all of a sudden green lights come on. So not a lot of strategy you can utilize there as the leader of the race to kind of get a jump on the field. Cody McElwain easily clears Trevor McManus. We get through turn 2, so we're making progress, Jamie.
Let's hold our breath through this tunnel turn, see if everybody can give a little room and make their way through it.
Oh, Trevor McManus gets a heck of a run to the outside of Cody McElwain coming out of the tunnel. And I'll tell you, Jamie, that tunnel turn is where you can gain a lot of track position and a lot of speed. You can lose a lot of speed and track position. And as Cody couldn't quite get that truck wound up coming out of 4, and it's on and the 93 is now poking down to the inside, and they look like they're going to take it 3 wide down into turn 1.
Wow. Didn't get the big fan out coming down the front stretch there, but they made it exciting going into 1. Leaders are still side by side with Trevor McManus right on the bumper of Cody McElwain as they come down the, I guess we'll call that the back stretch.
Well, I think Trevor thought a little bit better of it there to keep it 3 wide, so he tucked in behind Cody. And we got a truck into the wall, but keeps it clean there.
Looks like Piano Man got a little bit of the wall there, but he stays up out of the way. It looks like Cody has regained a point as they come off of 4 onto this long front straightaway at Pocono.
Yeah, and Cody moves down to do a little bit of draft braking. So, yeah, and like you said, Jamie, haven't seen the big fan out of guys going different ways and all that, so everybody seems a little bit content right now. Just kind of ride along. And
unless you're Scott Sanderson, and he immediately makes a move to the inside of Cody as they come off of turn 2. but he's now given up a spot to Trevor McManus, who's bringing his teammate Joe Yakes in that 87 truck right along with him. But Joe backs out of it as they enter the tunnel turn.
These guys are making a lot of aggressive moves here to start this race. A lot of close quarters racing here. You know, it's kind of been the tale of who can really get off the corner the best. Even though a couple people have gotten to the inside of Cody, they haven't been able to make the pass. Oh, and Trevor gets real loose underneath Ryan Sanderson, able to keep that truck collected up. Gonna lose a couple spots here as we stay under green.
But that Jam Printing and Promotions Chevy Silverado sure looks good at the front of this field.
That's a damn good looking truck.
It is. Noel Hanna almost thought about taking him 3 wide in the middle of turn 1 and 2, but he backs out of it as he now comes under fire from the 88 of Jonah Colbert.
It's Ryan Sanderson again. Looks like he's trying to make a move on Cody McElwain going into the tunnel, but backs out of it a little bit earlier. Gets back to the gas a little bit earlier, trying to build that run coming off the corner. These two are continuing to dice it up. Oh, it's Ryan Sanderson puts the chrome horn to Cody. A little early in the race to be doing things like that, but everybody keeps the truck under control, and we are still underway.
We got a great run off the 4.
And I tell you what, Jamie, it has just been some really great racing in these races. And it's almost hard to call the races because I'm such a fan. I get caught up watching it and I forget I got to actually say something.
Yeah. And it's always been a lot of action up at the front, so it's making it very difficult to get to the rest of the field. We don't want guys to feel left out, but, you know, unfortunately, we don't have a full-fledged camera crew like they do on Fox and NBC.
Wow. The 88 truck gets up there and decides to put a nose up and see what he can do about this. So Jonah Colbert moving his way to the front. Those 2 Indy Autosports trucks of Joe Yakes and Trevor McManus are battling it out. And Ryan Sanderson is falling back just a little bit as now we see Jonah Colbert coming up.
Cody likes what he's seeing in his rearview mirror. I'm sure he's saying, keep on fighting for position, boys. I'm just going to pull away while y'all do that.
Yeah, I'd like to think that Cody was trying to save a little bit of tire there at the beginning. We'll have to see how this run continues. We've had a lot. Guys seem to be getting everything sorted out here. The field is pretty spread out. Some battles back and forth through the field, but we have completed 10 laps here of the Sketch 40 and the G2G Trailers 100. Been a lot of great racing here at Pocono Raceway. As much as my fellow commentator doesn't like the track, man, does it provide for some exciting racing.
Oh, I love watching the racing here. I just don't want to be a part of it.
We'll make you a fan one of these days, Shane.
Oh, while we're talking about that, you made a mention before the race started that all 3 corners are unique and totally different than any other place that we race at. And I'm gonna prove you wrong. And I'm also gonna prove why you enjoy this place so much.
Okay.
And I don't really care for it. Yes, all 3 of these corners, if you want to call them 3 corners, I call them 6 corners because there is a distinctive entry and exit to every one of these turns. So, you know, everywhere else you go, it's two turns per corner, but we'll stick with the 3, okay? So, they're all modeled after tracks, existing tracks that were built prior to Pocono Raceway. Turn 1, now this is a track I'm not familiar with, but turns 1 and I'll call 2 are modeled after Trenton Speedway. I've never driven on that track. I don't never seen it. Don't know anything about it. However, the tunnel turn is modeled after a track that's near and dear to your heart, and you were very good at, and that would be Indianapolis.
Very true. Very true.
Okay. Turns 3 and 4 are modeled after another track you were very good at, and that would be the Milwaukee Mile.
Oh, I do love Milwaukee.
So, there you have it. These corners are more familiar than you thought, and they're really modeled after at least 2 of the 3 tracks that you have had a lot of success at. So
Well,
that's a little history lesson on Pocono Raceway.
Jamie, you must keep that haterade like really cold in the refrigerator because
Well,
I mean, it is coming out strong.
I'm not sure if Roger Ward is still living or not, but if he is, don't design any more racetracks.
I would say the opposite. You keep them up, and I'll give you some. I'll give you some tracks. Gateway, IRP would be another great one that you can model some corners after. So keep up the great work.
And speaking of keeping up the great work, Trevor McManus has now closed in on Cody McElwain and is wanting to take the lead here as he looks to the inside as they enter the tunnel turn.
Cody's strong on the outside there.
Wow. Yeah.
We've seen that a few different times tonight, Jamie, which is something I typically have not seen at Pocono. Usually if you get the run down into the tunnel, the truck on the outside will give a little bit. You'll be able to clear him. But it seems there's a lot of grip on the outside groove there in the tunnel turn, and that outside truck is the one that's getting the run off.
Absolutely. And what we just saw there with that exchange that just happened, the tunnel turn is not the place to try to make a pass. It's just not. You may feel good about the run you're getting leading up to it, but as Cody just showed, the truck on the outside is going to get the run off, and it cost Trevor a lot of time. He really brought Joe back into the picture, falling back like he did. Really broke his momentum. So I would suggest if you're going to make a pass, you need to look at doing it either in turns 1 or in turn 3. I would leave the tunnel turn alone.
Yeah, from what we're seeing tonight, Jimmy, I have to agree with you. I'd almost want to back out a little bit early and try to get the run coming out of the tunnel instead of trying to get somebody going into the tunnel turn.
Right.
We are single file all the way back through. So let's go back through the field here. These guys now completed, we have 26 laps to go here, so 14 laps completed. So let's check on our week 1 and week 2 winner, Eddie Smith, who's back in 15th position. Picked off a few trucks on his way back up through, got involved in that early accident. So we'll have to see as he battles his way back up to the field where he ends up at. Jordan Malcolm running back in 20th position. Cause of that very first accident, our first caution got loose there. But he's got that truck fixed up and running back in 20th position right now. As we take a look back through, there's Greg Sherman in that number 24 Hooters truck. Wonder where he got that one from, Jamie.
I'm not sure, but that's definitely not a surprise.
Now,
Swerving Sherman in the Hooters truck.
As we take a look back at Alex Cruz now, the other Goat Locker racing truck, and that Gill Insurance number 5. Again, another one of the trucks that was involved in that early accident. So he's got that truck fixed up, sitting back in 19th position now, and we'll hopefully be able to pick off a few more positions here as he continues to move forward. There's Zach Wilson in our number 51 truck. Always a front runner, been very strong at quite a few different tracks. Sitting solidly within the top 10 right now in 8th position, down 1 from where he started, but having himself a pretty good race so far. Let's see, we got to check in on Brian Brogan, and that is a Miami Dolphins truck, Jamie. There's just no other way to describe it. Wow.
Well, we've seen Brian running closer to the front so far in these races in this series, but now that he switched to that scheme, I think he's down a cylinder.
That Dolphins weighting him down a little bit.
Right, that's right.
As we go back in and check on our leader, Cody McElwain, in the number 6 Jam Promotions truck, he is starting to pull away just a little bit here. And we've got Trevor McManus sitting solidly back in 2nd place, and his teammate, Joe Yakes, having a great run this week, sitting in 3rd position.
Yeah, it's been a strong run for Joe and Trevor in this. They had to deal with the, Scott Sanderson was, really tough there at the beginning. I'm not sure what has happened to him. He's fallen coming back. I'm not sure if he pitted. Well, and here comes the leaders on pit road right now. As Trevor has
Cody
and
wrecks it.
Cody,
Get it spun around and get it back on, but Cody locks it up and spins that truck around, getting onto pit road.
Trevor locked his up too, but he was able to keep it going straight.
On a tough break for our race leader there.
It looks like that's going to turn the lead for the moment over to Zachary Wilson in the 51 truck.
As we got differing pit strategies going on right now, we are at lap 18 of 40, so they could definitely make it all the way from here on fuel. Trevor McManus is back out. We'll take a look at some of the trucks that are still out on the field. We got Tony Minton right now running fifth, up 7 positions from where he started at. And that really cool looking number 14 Captain Crunch truck.
Oh, yes, I saw that earlier today. He posted a preview of that. And I thought, wow, that's going to be really cool to see, especially if him and Davy Jones get to run next to each other with the White Castle and Captain Crunch. Be pretty awesome.
As we check back in on Davy Jones, one of our favorite drivers out there, in that White Castle truck. He's got a pretty beat-up truck. Don't know if he didn't get it fixed the first time around or has found some more trouble, but that truck does not look very healthy, like eating White Castles on a Friday night.
Yeah, we're showing Davy Jones 10 laps down. I know he went a lap down early, which I don't know if something really had, if he had the tow possibly from that first caution or not, but he'll stay out there, I'm sure, and try to make up some spots as this race goes on.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So it looks like if things get sorted back out, Joe Yates is going to take over the lead in this race. Because it's now him, Scott Rankin, and Trevor McManus are the 3 Indy Autosports trucks that have pitted and come out 1, 2, 3.
Joe must have had a really good pit stop. Make that spot up on Trevor.
Yeah, and Scott Rankin got out in front of him as well. So take a look at pit stop times here. As I can see from a couple of these guys, really what it looks like those are some really short pit stops. I mean, I'm showing Joe Yates only having a 9-second stop, Scott Rankin 7.8, and Trevor McManus at 11.8. So that tells me they only took 2 tires.
Yeah, 2 tires and some fuel.
So they are playing a strategy game here a little bit. We'll have to see how 2 tires holds up as this race continues on. That should have cycled everybody down pit road at this point in time. We'll take a look here and see.
We got battle position here as Trevor McManus pulls to the inside of Joe Yates, his teammate, as they come down the long front stretch.
So we got a couple trucks that have still stayed out. Sanderson is yet to pit. Browning is yet to pit. Noel Hannah is yet to pit. So we got quite a few guys that are still out there on old tires. So again, a couple different strategies here. It looks like these Indy Autosport guys decided to go with 2 tires and fuel to gain some track position. We'll have to see how the tires wear and if that ends up paying off.
Well, I think Scott has had to have pitted now because he's actually showing behind. He's 1.3 seconds behind our leader, Joe Yates. So he must have made his pit stop. The timing and scoring just hasn't quite caught up yet. As it is really getting busy up here at the front as we've got the top 4 under a blanket. And Scott Sanderson is looking to make a move on Joe Yates again, coming down the front stretch, try to take over that second position.
I think this is where we're really going to see the difference between 2 tires and 4 tires, Jim. If Scott Sanderson is able to pick him up and lay him down like that, that's showing a big difference in tires right there.
pit road for Cody has dropped him all the way back to the 16th position. I imagine he is going to need a caution at this point to give himself a chance of winning this race.
Unless he gets a caution, getting caught back up to the field, his chances for having a good clean run and a good finish tonight are kind of going to the wayside as we have 18 laps left to go here. He's got a long road to get back up front. And these trucks have really spaced themselves out. Again, as we see week in and week out, JB, a lot of green flag runs. And these drivers really taking care of the trucks and giving each other space. I don't know if we're going to catch another caution or not. So now we have, Scott Sanderson is taking the lead.
He sure has. Got that 93 truck up front. And looking good. Scott Rankin has now joined his teammates here, running second, third, and fourth. He's not going to be satisfied with that fourth position as he pulls to the outside of Joe Yates coming through the tunnel turn. See if he gets, I'm sorry, they're in 3 and 4. Sorry.
Let's check back in here a little bit and see how our good buddy in that number 18 truck, Ryan Pendleton, is doing, as he has moved up to 10th position right now, up 3 spots from where he started. So, great run for him in that number 18 truck here this evening. It's him and Eddie Smith are kind of battling it out right now. Eddie Smith has moved himself back up to the top 10, up to 9th position now. As he gets passed by Ryan Pendleton there in that 18 truck. So those two are swapping positions back and forth. Check in on a couple other trucks we haven't had a chance to call this evening. Anthony Radel having himself a solid evening. He's down 9 positions from where he started, sitting in 12th position. The truck looks clean. Really cool paint scheme on it there, Jamie. And having himself a solid night. We got to go back. Go ahead.
Yeah, you have Mike Browning. We haven't talked about Mike Browning, and Mike Browning has made his way up from the 14th position all the way into the top 5. Another strong run for him this evening.
It's that poor White Castle truck just looks beat up. As we take a look at Mike Browning, haven't called his number all evening and now finds himself battling out here with the leaders. And another one of those Indy Auto Sports trucks. So these 4 trucks have really got it together here this evening.
I'm noticing in the chat here, our Twitch chat, we have got a pretty decent crowd in here tonight watching this race. After last week, it was a little bit scarce, a little concerned about that, but people have come back in full force tonight. So thank you to everybody that has tuned in to watch this. And I even have my mom watching this tonight.
Oh, that's awesome. Been a long time since I've seen her. Hi, great to have you tune in. You know why everybody's tuning in this evening, don't you, Jamie?
Oh, why? Because it's Pocono?
It's Pocono. Come on. All right, I'll let that one go. But a lot of great racing here this evening. Again, can't say it enough. We say it week in and week out. The quality of drivers that come out here and race. I don't know of too many leagues that we're a part of, Jamie. You know, the 20-plus years that we've been racing, have we seen such exciting races and caution-free races?
Scott Sanderson is making another pit stop?
I am not 100% sure what kind of strategy he's on. But yes, he has brought that truck down pit road. So that'll turn the lead back over to Trevor McManus.
Interesting. Once again, I don't know. We went through this, the first race of the season, where the fuel strategy did not play out the way we expected it to. Kind of seen that again tonight, unless Scott pitted earlier than what he should have. I'm not 100% certain what's going on.
Not 100% certain either.
Joe Yates has announced he's pitting again along with Scott Rankin, so guys, once again, cannot go as far as we expected them to. These trucks are just maybe, I don't know, maybe they're turning more power than what we thought. And the fuel mileage just isn't there, as I see Cody McElwain getting up to speed after he's been on pit road.
Yeah, we'll have to take a look at that. Take a look at what the fuel strategy is looking like for these guys. Because, yeah, this would make the second stop that they've had to make for fuel. So, Sanderson brings them down pit road. Everybody else starts to follow suit. Again, should easily take them all the way, but kind of looking like their fuel can only go, 15 laps or so, Jamie.
Which is not good since we only gave them one additional set of tires.
Well, you know what? They're professionals. They'll figure it out.
There's going to be some upset guys after this one tonight, I think. Because that's going to be a long way to go on a set of tires. Especially since they probably took tires on that first stop, and then they're out. So, sorry, fellas.
Yeah, as we continue to learn and grow and try new things, sometimes we get the strategy right, sometimes we don't. And this might be one of those don't nights, Jamie. But again, I think these guys are still out there having a blast. A lot of great racing here. So while the strategy might be a little bit off, I still think they're having a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. And nobody's having more fun right now than the number 18 of Ryan Pendleton, who has put that truck up front.
Yeah, good to see him out here leading some laps. Hope to see him week in and week out doing just the same thing. So we should see the rest of these trucks come down pit road here not after too long. But that would explain some of the pit stops before. So maybe the pit stop before, when they were all real short, they took fuel only. And this pit stop, they took tires, is going to be my guess. We'll try to look at some of the pit stop times here to make sense of exactly what we got going on.
And that might explain where Scott Sanderson made up so much ground on those guys if he took his tires on that first stop and the others didn't.
Yeah. But again, when we look at those Indy Autosports guys, Scott Rankin with 7.8, Jordan McManus with 11.8, Joe Yakes that time around was a 14.6. So that almost seems a little bit more like a full pit stop. We'll let those cycle through. Mike Browning with a 15.5, Zach Wilson with a 14.9. So this looks to be the stop where everybody decided to go ahead and take tires.
And Ryan Pendleton continues to make laps here after everyone else has made their way down pit road.
A lot of different strategies.
He's closing in on the 5 truck of Alex Cruz and would be putting him a lap down. That's newsworthy right there. Because I know Alex Cruz can get around Pocono pretty good.
Just don't think he had the night he was expecting that number 5 Gill Insurance truck. Was getting involved in that early accident, putting way back in the field, and just hasn't been able to find the speed to work his way back up through there. With only one caution, once you get behind, you kind of stay behind.
Yep, as Ryan Pendleton is putting Gregory Swervin Sherman a lap down.
Old Swervin Sherman. We're still waiting the entire pit sequence to cycle through, and it looks like right now, when it cycles back around, that Scott Rankin is going to be our new leader.
That's assuming Ryan Pendleton's going to pit before this thing's over.
We're coming on 8 to go here, so he would have had to save a whole lot of fuel there.
Yeah, I mean, again, maybe he did take his tires on that first run, and if that's the case, and he pulls on the pit road right now,
Yep. As he comes down pit road.
Makes a nice clean entry on the pit road. Good job there.
Cycle on the lead and around to Eddie Smith. Still have yet to make his final pit stop. With 8 laps to go, our winner of the first 2 races is finally back out to the point.
Yeah, I didn't think we would get through this race without seeing Eddie Smith up front.
Yeah, always manages to find his way up front. So we'll take a look back through the field here a little bit. As Brandon Wallace there, as we've got to call his name a couple different times. And a really cool looking number 89 truck there. Super cool looking paint scheme, man. There's Scott Sanderson in that 93 truck sitting back in 5th position right now. So by my timing and scoring that, we'll cycle him to the lead once everybody else comes down the road.
And Eddie Smith has made that right-hand turn, or left-hand turn, and is pulling down on pit road. And Brian Brogan in the 45 has just announced he will be pitting this lap as well.
Go back and take a look at a couple of different trucks throughout the field. There's Noel Hannon, that number 7 truck, having himself a good, solid night. And I believe, Jamie, this is his first race with us.
It is.
So great to have you out, Noel. Great to see you out there in that number 7 truck. We've raced a lot with him over in a different league, and always enjoyed running with him in the road stretch.
Yeah, Noel's a clean driver, as clean as he can come, and so glad to have him over here in this GOR Truck Series.
Take a look at Jonah Colbert, that number 88 truck. Saw him up front there for a little while, and has kind of fallen back. Again, as they continue to cycle through, I think we'll see him end up in the top 10. Right now, Cody McElwain is sitting in 13th position, so he's been able through some pit strategy and getting on and off pit road cleanly this last time, make up a few spots. But again, as the laps continue to wind down, our early race leader, not looking good for him to be able to win this.
No, not probably going to happen. So, Tony Minton just made the call that he'll be coming to pit road, get himself a nice big bowl of Captain Crunch and a tank full of gas.
As I'm sitting here staring at the number 22 truck of William Piano Man Schroeder, boy, some Taco Bell sounds good. Jordan Malcolm still having himself a good solid day, 15th position. And Alex Cruz in that Gill Insurance truck back in 18th position. Kyle Plumstead, I don't know that we've really called his name tonight. He's kind of been pretty quiet, sitting back in 20th position. And we take a look at the number 8 entry of Austin Connick, another guy that we've raced with a lot over the Broke Scrubs. Great to see him out here. I know he's wanted to come out here and race with us. Not real sure about the Cracker Barrel paint scheme, but, race what you like, I guess.
Yeah, after Cracker Barrel fired Brad's wife, I just have not been a fan.
Fired Brad's wife.
You got to look it up.
Oh,
Do
man.
a search. Do a search, Cracker Barrel, Brad's wife.
All right, I will have to take a look at that one.
The comments are worth the 20 minutes or 30 minutes that you'll get lost in that.
As we take a look at the 97 truck of Mike Petosa, looking to go, I don't know if this is one lap down or a couple laps down at this point in time. But again, great to have him out here. Great to see him out here racing it and having a good time. We'll take a look at Magic Mike in that number 77 truck. Had himself a decent night sitting back in the 22nd, 23rd position.
I wonder where his partner in crime, Phil Monzo's at. I mean, I guess Phil picks up a win on Monday night. Now he's too big time to come out here and race in the truck series, I guess. So Magic Mike, get your guy out here.
JB, if I were you, I wouldn't ask too many questions about the hit. He might be handling some business. And
Good point.
I don't want to end up on whatever list he has. So as we take a look at the 64 truck of Matt Knight, he's haven't had a chance to call his name yet this evening. Great to have him out here in that number 64 Snap-on truck. A lot of great trucks out here this evening. As we head back up front, Scott Sanderson is in control of this, but Scott Rankin is breathing down his neck.
Yeah, he sure is. With 3 laps to go, this is going to get interesting because it definitely looks like Scott has saved something for the end.
It definitely looks that way. So we have the battle of the Scots up front. Scott Rankin has tracked him down from a long ways back. So again, I think this is where we're going to see a little bit different of the tire strategies here. And I'm not sure that Scott Sanderson's going to be able to hold him off.
I'm telling you, I just set up in my seat a little straighter because not only is Scott Rankin there wanting to take over this lead, but Trevor McManus has come from nowhere to close this gap here with 2 laps remaining.
Yeah, this is going to be a dogfight to the finish now.
Yeah, will the teammates work together to get...
Oh, and Rankin gets into the back of him.
We've got the caution.
And the caution has come out.
Wow.
Not,
Scott Anderson had actually saved that truck, but iRacing threw the caution.
yeah, and that was... I can't... Why they threw the caution, I'm not 100% sure. We'll rewind it here a little bit. Wasn't really an accident, but we'll take it again a look. As they come into the tunnel, it looks like the 93 truck is trying to make the corner, and Scott Rankin just had his nose there, but he did an outstanding job keeping that truck straight. And we are going to have our second caution of the evening, which really should bring out green-white checkered, maybe.
Yes, it is.
So,
A green-white checkered finish. The interesting thing to see now is these guys have been out on these tires. Well, I guess some of the leaders saved their tires to the end on that last stop, I guess. So maybe it won't be that big of an issue. But I'm concerned for the guys that didn't, who took the tires early. Are they going to be able to get clean restarts without spinning their tires?
yeah, and I'm not sure. I'm confident that nobody has any tires left in the pits right now. So they've got what they've got, and they're going to have to try to battle it out here. As we saw Trevor McManus pull up to the front of Scott Rankin, probably to check for damage and see if there was anything there. But I think both of those trucks are pretty clean. They just got together a little bit going into the tunnel, fighting hard, and everybody kept the truck straight. We are going to have, I think, one exciting finish here.
Yeah, I was hoping this thing wouldn't go green because it was going to be exciting either way, but this is definitely brought some more trucks into the mix, and it gives Scott Sanderson an opportunity to maybe give Scott Rankin a little bit of payback here, because he's got a chrome horn of his own.
He absolutely does. And again, these guys are highly competitive, and with a green-white checker on some old tires, I mean, man, they are going to be scrapping and beating and banging, trying to make their way up to the front of this race.
Austin Connick was the lucky dog, and he will have an opportunity to get his lap back and put him back on lead lap. Maybe give it an opportunity to pick up some spots here on this 2-lap finish.
This is also going to draw in some of the faster trucks that got caught up in that first wreck, like Cody McElwain, that had some issues getting onto pit road. That's going to draw them back tight up to the field. So now Eddie Smith is going to restart 10th. Cody McElwain's going to restart 11th. Jonah Colbert back in 9th. So we've got some guys there back towards the latter part of the top 10 that probably feeling pretty good that this caution came out and maybe be able to pick off a couple spots here.
It's even brought Ryan Pendleton, he's in the 8th position. It's brought him right back into the picture, and we've seen him be strong most of this race. So would not be surprised to see some noise from him trying to get to the front.
Yeah, these late cautions and green-white checkers always build a lot of excitement into it. Again, really surprised that the caution came out there for that just slight slide, but
yeah. I mean, that was kind of weird. That was really no worse than if he had just gotten loose on his own when they got the caution for that. So really not sure the reason for iRacing throwing that caution in that particular spot,
but it's going to set us up for some excitement, exciting finish.
We'll see. I don't know. This top 3, I'm not convinced this will be the top 3 that we interview tonight.
I'm not real convinced of that either, Jamie. I got an itching feeling that these guys are gonna. They're gonna race hard, and I got an itching feeling that they're gonna get into each other a little bit. While some drivers might not be the happiest about the fuel and tire strategy that played out this evening, I think some feelings are going to get hurt here on this restart. But I tell you what, Scott Sanderson has got to feel like he's behind enemy lines right now because he is surrounded by the Indy Auto Sports team.
Yeah, absolutely. But will they work together? That's the thing. Are they gonna work as teammates and be concerned with the team win, or are they gonna go out there and try to win it for themselves? We'll have to see how that plays out. I know how GLR drivers would handle this, but not everybody does business the same way as we do. So if they don't work together, it's probably going to open a door for Scott or Mike Browning, even Zachary Wilson sitting there in 6th in that 51 truck. We talk about this with Mickey Isaac on Friday nights. And it's time to put out the paychecks, and Zachary Wilson has found his way up to the front.
The entire race, and then somebody opens up the pay window, and Zach Wilson's ears go off. He's like, "Yep, I'm coming to get my check."
Right. The pace truck is off,
and the green flag is out, and Scott Rankin gets an incredible start.
Yeah, he sure does. He left them both behind.
And that was just an incredible start that he got. I haven't seen anybody get that type of a jump on the field all evening long. He easily takes over the lead, and Trevor McManus is going to clear the 93 truck. And here comes Zach Wilson making a move for 3rd.
And we're 3 wide.
He's got Joe Yates to the inside of him. And so
that is not going to work in this tunnel turn as Zachary Wilson backs out.
And somebody gets into...
Ryan Pendleton's turned around.
And the Joe Yates comes down and hits. Not sure what that was all about. Hits Scott Sanderson there. So we'll go back and take a look at the crash, though. Ryan Pendleton, Cody McElwain as they enter the tunnel turn. Yeah, the 18 truck just comes down where there wasn't a hole. Cody McElwain was already down there, and the 18 truck comes down to try to make that tunnel. Don't know if he didn't know he was there or what the deal was, but ends up getting together, and we have a couple crash trucks there.
So this isn't over yet. We're going to line this up and get one more attempt at this green-white checkered finish.
Whew. We knew it was going to get crazy, and they got real crazy in the tunnel over there.
Yeah, they tried to make it 3 wide, but that really wasn't the issue from what I saw. The issue happened behind. Zachary Wilson backed out of it to keep it from being 3 wide through the tunnel turn. And, somebody had to blink. I guess it was the 51.
Yeah, it's tough. Again, I mean, the race is coming to an end. And so you're up there battling and getting after it and going crazy. As it looks like we got a couple of drivers that aren't very happy with Joe Yates right now.
Well, they're not. But again, it was. Yeah. I mean, I don't know. It's easy to sit here and say, it's racing. I totally understand how they're feeling, but I totally understand Joe's line of thought too. This is the closing laps. We got a bunch of guys coming down pit road. For what reason? Unless they just didn't have enough to get to the end on this with this additional caution laps. But I understand their frustration with Joe, but I totally get Joe's side of it too. Like I said, somebody had to blink, and wasn't Joe.
As we kind of get this race underway one more time here, as we're still pacing. A lot of damage to the rear end of that 87 truck right now, so we'll have to see how that kind of plays out for him as we get back underway. We'll take a look at the Mike Browning truck. Go back and look at Jonah Colbert and Wallace. There's a couple of trucks looks like they have come down pit road. I don't know if they'd saved some tires or again they just needed to come get fuel again. But we'll see how it all plays out here after a little while.
Well, I can't imagine anybody tried to run all 40 laps on one set of tires, so no way anybody's got tires left to put on a truck. But if they do, oh, they're going to be coming through this field in a hurry.
Yes, they will. So, again, we'll have to see how it plays out here a little bit, as we should be coming around to one to go. So they will line this back up, and this will be the final green-white checkered. So whatever happens, happens. This is going to be the end of the race.
I'm not always a little embarrassed to say this, but I just noticed that our sponsor, Jam Frame Promotions, was in the stream. I'm not sure if it was Amber or Jerry, but thank you guys for all you do for us and supporting the league. We appreciate it.
Hopefully you tuned in at a point in time that you got to see your truck running up front with Cody McElwain behind the wheel of it. Had a little bit of issues here this evening, but he has run a pretty solid race. We want to see where he ends up finishing. As they are lining up to try this one last time.
This is the last attempt for a green-white checker finish. So the next flag will end this race.
Yes, we have the 4 Indy Autosports trucks up front right now, piloted by Scott Rankin, Trevor McManus, Joe Yakes, and Mike Browning. And then, I mean, don't look now, Jamie, but sitting back in 6th position is Eddie Smith.
I was just thinking the exact same thing. Eddie is definitely going to be motivated and looking to make this clean sweep, 3 in a row, hat trick to kick off the Goat Locker Racing Truck Series. I guess he just wants to be the lone winner in the history of Goat Locker Racing. So, see how this works out for him. But, Mike Browning sitting there in 4th. Ran a really clean race to this point, and always a crowd favorite. He's looking to sneak a win out here.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And we got Noel Hanna sitting up in 5th position as well. So there's some trucks that have, a couple of these cautions here has caught him up, and man, you don't want Eddie Smith this close to the front right now.
No.
So we'll see how it plans out if we can get through this entire 2 laps here and make this race official.
This time, Trevor McManus stays even with Scott as Joe Yakes. See, throw teammates out the window. Joe Yakes moves to the inside of Scott Rankin as they head into turn 1.
Oh, wow. And the 2 Indy Autosports trucks get together, Scott Rankin and Trevor McManus. And now that's going to start to collect up a few trucks, and that is going to end the race. Joe Yakes is going to be our winner this evening, because they are still wrecking back
there. Okay.
We'll wait for timing and scoring to catch up, and these guys cycle back around because they will have to complete these laps to make it official and get their finishing positions. But that should hand the win over to Joe Yakes there. Mike Browning coming in 2nd place, and Noel Hanna squeaks through all that badness and brings it home 3rd. Trevor McManus is going to end up finishing 5th, and lo and behold, there's Jonah Colbert and Eddie Smith finishing 5th and 6th. So this is the final lap. So easy pace lap around as Joe's probably still trying to find that pace truck wherever it's at. They'll complete this lap to make it official. And we will talk to our race winner and our top 3 finishers. Man, Jamie, I tell you, we had a long race there with a lot of green flag runs. Catch that late race, I'll call it a fluke of a caution, and that ends up with 2 green white checkers and teammates getting into each other to battle it out for the win.
I told you that top 3 was not going to be the top 3 that we interviewed, right?
You did. You absolutely did. It sounds like Joe Yakes is cutting the truck off, so he might be running short of gas.
Wow.
So, definitely a few things for us to look at, from the point of strategy and how these races run and all that other stuff. But still, all in all, a great race. Congratulations to Joe Yakes there and Mike Browning finishing in second place and Noah Hanna finishing in third. Some really great racing out there.
Yeah, it was definitely an entertaining race for sure. I would have preferred to not have all the cautions there at the end because so much of the race was ran so cleanly. That kind of took away from that a little bit, I think. But overall, it was still an exciting finish. I don't know that I'm surprised, but I guess I am surprised that teammates would race like that with each other. But again, everybody's different. Everybody, people don't do things the same way that we would do it. I know that if that was me, you, and Cody up front, that would not have happened. So, but
again, I would have wrecked you for a win all day long.
I know you would have.
I mean, all day, every day. But again, I mean, you get into these competitive situations, and you're going for these race wins and all that other stuff. So good to see these guys bring it home. Kind of with you, Jamie. For as much green flag runs as we had there, would have liked to seen it kind of play out a little bit more. Don't mind the late race caution, but when you get the back to back and you don't really get to finish the race under green, it takes away a little bit from it. Love to see guys race for the win, but it is official, and we'll take a look at our results as Joe has given us a little bit of a smoke show here. Joe Yakes brings it home in first, Mike Browning in second, Noel Hanna in third. So outstanding race for him this evening, his first race with us. Jonah Colbert coming home in fourth, and wouldn't you know, Eddie Smith, didn't really talk about him a whole lot tonight, got involved in that first wreck, rounds out our top 5. So, I mean, Tony Minton coming home in, 6th position. So congratulations to him in that number 14 Captain Crunch truck. I just had Captain Crunch for lunch yesterday. I love Captain Crunch.
I do too. Captain Crunch berries are the best.
Oh, man, you got to go original. You don't need all those berries and everything. You just need Captain Crunch, bro.
And look at Brian Brogan bring that Miami Dolphins truck home in 7th.
Austin Connick there and finishing in 8th in the number 8 truck again. His first race out here with us. Congratulations. It's Cody McElwain in that Jam Promotions truck. Rallied back to 9th position after making that big mistake coming down pit road. Great to see him bring it back, though. Great race this evening. Had a very fast truck, so should be proud of his effort this evening and the speed that he had. And then rounding out our top 10, Brandon Wallace. So, wait a minute. I would say I would stop right there, but where did Swervin Sherman come from?
Yeah, we were just talking about him earlier in the race. He was going a lap down, but he fought his way back, got back on the lead lap, and brought that 24 truck home in 11th.
Wow.
Good run, Greg.
Yeah.
Way to go, Uncle Greggy.
And then the other goat locker entry there, finishing in 14th position is number 5 truck of Alex Cruz. So great night for him in that Gill Insurance truck. And then finishing 15th is Trevor McManus there. So not sure if he couldn't keep that truck up to speed under the pace laps or why he fell all the way back to 15th, but he finished the last truck on the lead lap there. So as we got our top 3 sitting in the waiting room, let's grab our race winner, Joe Yakes. Hey, Joe, it's Pat and Jamie up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got a copy.
Well, that was an exciting race to say the least. And you, Indy Autosports guys, really had those trucks tuned up this evening. Seemed like all four of you were up front. So, kind of take me through your night and how you brought that number 87 truck home with the win.
Well, I tell you, I really wasn't looking forward to this race tonight. Pocono is, not one of my favorite tracks, and I wasn't able to get in and get the practice with my team this week. So I kind of just started the race, just kind of taking it easy. And I know earlier in the race, I was able to get a jump on a restart and made a three wide pass on the bottom like I did, and I used those lessons on that final restart there. Got the jump, got the spot, and then the caution came out, and that was it. I really don't think I would have made it if that caution didn't come out. I was sputtering coming across the line there.
Yeah, Joe. Hey, man, I'm in agreement with you. I do not like this place. It's like me and you were. It's like we're the same person. Um, but hey, listen, you made that move to go three wide going into one, and it looked like there was some contact with you and your teammate Scott Rankin. So, what will the discussion be in the team meeting after this race?
I don't know, to be honest. I mean, I took a look at the replay myself, and I didn't see any direct contact between Scott and I on my replay. So if there was, I'm sure it was probably some net code, but I'll take another look at it. But I thought I left more than enough room. I mean, I went into turn one there and just hugged the line around, and was just wondering to see what would happen.
Yeah, well, I mean, hey, it was a good move, man. You're trying to win a race. So yeah, congratulations on winning this thing. You are now the second winner in Goat Locker Racing history of all three races. You've joined Eddie Smith as the only other winner. So congratulations, great run tonight, and look forward to seeing you next week, man.
Yeah, thank you so much. And I can't thank the Indy Autosport guys enough. Trevor, Scott, Mike, and the other guys kind of behind the scenes. It's been great.
Awesome,
Awesome.
man.
Yeah. Congratulations, Joe. And
Thank you.
we'll talk to you soon, man.
Sounds good. We'll talk to you guys later.
So I'm sure the team meeting will go a little bit interesting as those guys were mixing it up there at the end. But I like how he kind of played that off a little bit. So we'll bring in his teammate Mike Browning that finished in second position. Hey, Mike, it's Pat and Jamie up in the booth. You got a copy?
I do. What do you guys? What up, guys?
Well, not a whole heck of a lot. We got to watch one hell of a race and an exciting finish there at the end, and really kind of out of nowhere. Probably a little bit different from your vantage point. We saw you come up into the top five and really start battling there for the lead there for quite some time. So take me through your race and how you brought that number four truck home in second position.
Yeah. I mean, I hope that was exciting enough for you guys. You gave us a pretty good curveball with those long runs, but we did a lot of practice. We had I thought we had a pretty good strategy, and obviously we were all there. It was just that fuel. I was just hoping that I could save enough, and I was just kind of hanging back behind the guys for a little while. I can't run every week, so I don't want to take points away from my own guys if I don't have to. But yeah, it was those last few laps were pretty crazy. I don't know how I missed everything. I saw, I think Scott hit the bump. I saw him hit Trevor, and I decided to send it around the outside and see what happened. And luckily it stuck. And also luckily the yellow came out because I was not going to make it much farther past the finish line.
Hey, Mike. A week or so ago, we were calling a Kraken race that you were in, and you had a cheering section going on in our chat. Where was your fans tonight, man?
I don't know. I guess I must have lost them because you guys didn't broadcast me winning the other night, so they didn't know. But no, I had a few buddies watching. Hopefully they'll watch the playback.
Yeah, man. Hey, it was a blast in there in that Kraken race, and yeah, Monday was Memorial Day, my man. So that wasn't good for us. So sorry we missed your win there. But hey, congratulations on the second place finish tonight, man. You ran a smart race all night. We watched you come up there from starting 14th, finishing second. It was awesome run, man. So anybody you want to thank? Any shout outs you want to give? Sponsors?
Thank you. Yeah, actually, last week was Memorial Day, and I didn't get to talk to you last week, but being a firefighter, there's a lot of guys that we think about on Memorial Day, along with the Army guys, Navy, Air Force, whatever. And just a lot of people right now in my profession and as well as your guys is some mental health. Unfortunately, on Memorial Day we have to remember those people have taken their own lives too. So if you are struggling, get some help. There's people out there for you. Memorial Day is a great day to remember all of our veterans and fellow brothers and sisters, but we don't want to see them go like that. So it's just something I've been kind of passionate about with our guys here at the station and our state association. So just want to throw it out there, and if anybody needs help, go get it.
Oh, well said, Mike. Well said. Again, congratulations, man. Great finish, and look forward to seeing you when you can be out here again.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
All right, man. Yeah, great win there, brother, and appreciate the message. As an old retired Navy guy, and then my brother's a paramedic firefighter here in Indianapolis, so I know what you guys go through. So appreciate the message, and always thinking and praying for you guys. All right. As now we'll grab Noel Hanna and bring him up here and talk to our third place finisher. Hey, Noel, it's Pat and Jamie up in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir. How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm gonna say the opposite of what Jamie is gonna say. I wish I was on the track there with you guys this evening. Jamie will get to his part here in a minute. But man, I will say a quiet night for you. I know there's a little chaos there at the end, and a couple of those green white checkers, and it seemed you were able to scoot through there and bring home that number 7 truck in third place. So take me through your evening and how the race went for you.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it was pretty quiet. I think we started sixth or so, kind of stayed there all night, really. Kind of played the strategy the leaders did. Took tires the second stop, and then just kind of hoped there wouldn't be a late caution, which didn't exactly pan out that way. But a lot of it was fuel saving too. A lot of guys were running, and I sputtered going across the line, so it was just keeping clean and just trying to stay or trying to keep up with the front, and that was just kind of it worked out really well.
Yeah, awesome, Noel. Hey, congratulations on that top 3 finish in your very first Goat Locker Racing Truck Series race. Glad to have you out here. Loved racing against you over in the Broke Scrub, so excited to see what you can do here in the truck. I hope I'm not wrong in this, but I believe you won the Broke Scrub Cup Pocono race just a week or so ago in the Cup car, correct?
Yeah, we were running. That was our first next gen race, and yeah, took it on.
Okay, so obviously you're very good here at Pocono. What differences do you see between driving the Cup cars with obviously more power and these trucks that really don't handle as well and are underpowered? What's the kind of differences you see here at Pocono with those two vehicles?
Ah, man, with the Cup cars, I feel like, especially the next gens, you can get, I mean, massive runs in these. You really got to keep the momentum up, keep up with the draft. You're not getting the big runs, but you're gonna miss the draft if you're not in that lead pack. And I came out of pits both times. I was kind of the last car out of the lead pack, so I was really struggling with that one. But the Cup cars, especially next gen, man, they handle a dream. But the trucks, they get real loose at first, and then they tighten up, and you got to keep a handle on them, but still keep that momentum. And I kind of like that. I really like having to play momentum and really looking after tires. And I feel like with the Cup cars, it's becoming less of that. So I have a lot of fun with the trucks.
Awesome, man. Yeah, again, congratulations on a strong run in your first race here with us. So, anybody you want to thank, shout out, sponsors?
Yeah, I mean, thanks for having me here. It'll be a lot of fun. It's quite the field, and it's very diverse field too. We're skills all over the place, and awesome. I love to see it. And yeah, thanks for you guys for having me. And I mean, I got a same sponsor in the car as I always had. I know everyone kind of has their own nuances about Epic Games and all that, but and they keep me employed. I get to keep doing this and just having a good time, and in something like this for a good cause.
Awesome, man.
Well, congratulations, Noel. Great to have you racing with us, brother. I can't wait to see you out on the track some more.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Well, Jamie, I mean, Pocono didn't disappoint. I mean, we had the initial caution there at the beginning, cold tires on a truck, kind of got a few trucks wrapped up, a lot of our front runners to the back, long green flag run, and then a couple cautions to end up, and teammates battling and banging off each other for the win, and so race definitely didn't disappoint this evening.
No, not at all. It was fantastic racing throughout the whole night. You can look at the leaderboard here, see. Well, I'm not sure you're seeing it on your end, but we had a lot of comers and a lot of goers. You look at the top four, three of the top four had double-digit starting positions, but yet they ended up top five. So, then go a little further back, you have guys starting 12th, 17th, 15th, and made their way up into the top 10. So, even Brandon Wallace in the 10th position started 21st. So, it was awesome racing to see those guys improve their positions and have good runs here tonight. So, look forward to doing it again next Thursday night. Where are we at next Thursday?
Oh, look at you just cueing me right in. So we'll take a look at the schedule. And we are going to be next week. We're at Texas Motor Speedway. So we're back at a mile and a half for some great racing there. We got 67 laps on June 10th. And on June 17th, we got 40 laps at Talladega. So our first super speedway race. And so we'll see how these trucks draft. And from my experience, and we just ran the trucks. We just ran the truck Sunday at Talladega, and they build huge runs. And you really got to watch, how much you're pulling up behind the truck in front of you. So, and then we'll take a break and head into the second half of our season and that'll start on July 1st with our Salute to America 100 from Darlington Speedway.
Sounds good. And I know Noel Hanna he's a beast at Texas, so I will not be a bit surprised if we're not talking to him again next week, possibly with a win.
I wouldn't be surprised either. But from all of us here at Goat Locker Racing, absolute blast to be out here calling these races and to put on this series. I'd be remiss without thanking all our great sponsors, from Gill Insurance Advisors to Jam Printing and Promotions, who's working on some great stuff for us right now so we can put together some prize packs and some giveaways. I know I talk about it every race, but it's coming. It's definitely coming. From G2G Trailers, our title sponsor here this evening, and Chuck the Trailer Guy, who builds Austin custom race trailers for everybody, to the veteran nonprofits that we help support, from Tracks for Vets to helping veterans and families here in Indianapolis, to InVets, to Mission 22, which Mike talked about a little bit there, and the fight against veteran suicide. So from all of us here and all our great supporters, can't say thank you enough. Allowing us to put this together, allowing us to get these drivers together and just have a blast. So we'll see you all next week at Texas.
Good night.